for Thursday, October 22nd, 2020. This is the Pro and Con Show, and I'm your host, Michael James Ott. And as always, welcome to the show. So I've been looking here, so I promised myself many months ago that I would carry this through, do show after show after show, all the way through Election Day, November 3rd, 2020. So it turns out that this is show 13 until the final show number 1, or in the countdown, the finale here on Election Day, November 3rd. So the purpose of the show, of course, is put some thoughts out there on us being better citizens, on taking some time to actually study the important issues before us instead of coming to these snap positions, led by the leaders of our tribes, the Republicans and the Democrats for the most part, which is doing a terrible disservice to us. Okay, they're pushing our emotional hot buttons and causing us to not really consider these issues in a reasoned and logical way. And why is that important? Well, because this country has 340 million people in it, roughly. And we all have different opinions. We're all different. But in the end, the laws apply to all of us. And step by step, we need to spend the time to make sure that we have been considering all the different viewpoints. Now, today's show, the confirmation here recently, there's a confirmation ongoing effort to confirm a new judge to the Supreme Court. And I believe her last name is Barrett. And she's, the Republicans are pushing this through as the election continues with all the early balloting and stuff that's been going on. But in any case, having this person who is thought to be a more quote-unquote conservative judge, this is going to have a major impact on potentially on abortion in this country. And abortion, of course, is one of the, and rightly so, one of the most emotional, most contested, most causing of hate or whatever, animosity. And again, all of us have different opinions about this. And even though, even two people who are generally against abortion, they almost certainly have actually variations in what they think when they are quote unquote against abortion. For example, one person might say, well, maybe in extreme circumstances where, for example, the life of the mother is certainly going to be taken by some kind of detrimental thing going on with the fetus inside her, well, then maybe that's an okay thing, because who's to say which life is more important, these kinds of things. Whereas there are some people, especially those that have never been in the situation, that would proclaim, I would offer without thinking too much, well, no abortions ever. And if a woman dies having a child, that's her problem. Okay. And so, and then on the other side, the right of choice amongst women. And there'd be people who would say, well, a woman would always have the right to choose. And then would be others who would say, well, not always, especially like later in the term and stuff like that, when, the medical information would say that at some point, and certainly, just moments before birth, after 9 months, a child is a child. And so there's a huge argument, of course, when does life really begin? And that's all part of that. So it all comes down to, because of this new court appointment and the confirmation work that's been going on, I decided to do a multi-part series on abortion. And again, this is a very sensitive topic, and one that of course most people don't want to talk about it. But the reality is, these most difficult issues, and I think abortion is probably at the top of that list, or certainly at near the top of the list for just about anybody. Those are the topics that you have to actually spend the most time in talking through and understanding the different people involved and the different information involved to come to the best interest conclusion of anybody. And the Supreme Court gets involved in this. It's one of those things where the Constitution of the United States, as best as I can tell, I've read through it looking for anything that kind of would specifically in any way address this, and it's basically mute on abortion. Other than, of course, generically we have the main tenets of life, liberty, and a pursuit of happiness kind of thing, and the preamble, and then the Bill of Rights, which is basically we are protected fundamentally as individuals, and so then it kind of goes back to when during that 9-month gestation period do you become an individual. And there's lots of arguments over that, and but anyway, it's really not in the Constitution. So on the federal level, it's really not there, other than again just the generic protection of life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, or effectively the same. So then this social societal choice falls into the states, because it's really not to be mandated on a federal level, and there certainly has not been anybody, as far as I know. I'm sure actually there has been probably somebody that has proposed a national amendment to talk about women's rights versus or abortion rights or whatever. So then you have to say, okay, how do we proceed in this? And because of it plays into this whole Hatfields and McCoy's kinds of things. The two political parties just basically polarize this to the maximum. So their intention is to keep people in control, keep people in their tribes or cults, and polarize this. So there's no potential for discussion. It's just you're either a baby killer or you're not, kind of thing. I mean, this is the kind of, or you're either going to give women choice or you're not. And it's a real struggle. And we should be, again, doing a lot better job looking into this, and spending more time thinking it through. Let's see here. Well, come on. Okay. So that's this first show was really just an introduction into why this is kind of this ongoing festering social political battle within this country. Okay, because we have not spent the time, you and I, in thinking this through and talking about it on a national level, and okay, it is a extremely emotional topic, and a very, very difficult topic, and a very, very important topic, but we're not doing ourselves any favor by by just polarizing into these two camps and just continually arguing over it, or just not really arguing, just throwing stones at each other from across the from across two sides of the same street. Okay, so I'm going to talk about abortion in a couple of more shows here, and again, just kind of touch or the cliff notes, if you will, what we really should be doing, which is talking about this really extensively for a known set of time, having a specific program step by step where we're going to work through this as a nation and come to some reasonable place, and then turn that into law and potentially even an amendment to the Constitution if necessary. All right, so this is show 13. Show 12 is next in the countdown. My name is Michael James Ott. This has been the Pro and Con Show. And until the next show, bye for now.